Welcome back, Swish Masters podcast. Um, it's Q, co-host.
What's up, man? Your co-host Zay. They call me the executive producer. Welcome back.
Definitely, yep. So, Zay, so we talked about round one. So let's go on again to round two. As of right now, we had two games played so far in round two. We've had, the Bucks and the Nets. We also saw Philly and Atlanta go at it. Uh, as of right now, the Western Conference teams have not played yet, not yet. So we can definitely talk about maybe the first games that went on in the East, and then maybe talk about what we predict will happen in the West. So what are your thoughts right now on the Bucks and the Nets first? That James Harden injury. What do you think about the Bucks and the Nets series? And factor in what you think about James Harden and his injury.
It definitely was interesting to see how they, I guess, guarded against Giannis. But something like weird was going on with the series to me. Well, I mean, not the series, but the game. The Bucks are a fairly decent 3-point shooting team, but they ended up going. I think they only made 5 threes the whole game, so they were struggling. But it's kind of weird, kind of perplexed because the Nets aren't very good on defense. But I guess for that game, they played good enough. I think that obviously KD was great. I expected him to. I thought he was going to foul out at the end because of he for he doesn't often get into foul trouble, but he was able to still easily contribute, get buckets like he does. Kyrie was pretty good, but I think for Brooklyn, the key was Blake Griffin. I think Blake had, was it 18 and 15? He was, sometimes I think that's the thing about the playoffs is that you kind of expect what you're going to get from like your superstars like a Kevin Durant or a Kyrie Irving. But then obviously Blake is a star in the league and he was a force back in his LA days, even like early Detroit, but injuries and everything else, he's still showing that he's a big time player. And even though he didn't have a 30-point game or something like that, those rebounds, they matter. And his 18 points matter, but most of all, his energy was great. He played solid defense against the bigger guys like Brook Lopez, Giannis, obviously. And he just kind of out hustled them, man. You know what I mean? Like I want to say 6'10". He's a big dude, but those guys have a lot of length. But he played with a lot of heart. He played smart, and he was hustling out the loose balls, and he made a big difference for that team, man. I feel like Milwaukee kind of struggled, but I don't expect them to do that like every game. PJ Tucker was pretty good guarding KD. That was a good matchup. I feel like he did a decent job, even though he's 6'5". KD's like way up there on him, but it's KD, man. So you gotta get scored on.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Especially when you have Blake knocking down threes. It's that this team, the Nets are just really tough to stop because of all their other players. Joe
Mhm.
Harris.
Joe Harris,
Shout out to him
shooting
too. He's
buckets.
yeah, def- definitely man. So the Nets are just tough. So give me your prediction. You don't have to give me the amount of games, I guess. Just who you think will win the series.
Hmm. It's kind of tough right now with Harden being out, and hopefully, I hope he's okay. Like I hate to see guys, go down with those type of injuries. Like I know the hamstring particularly is kind of a tricky one. So prayers to him, and hopefully he, recovers well and is able to play.
All right.
But right now, it's kind of hard to say with him out, and I think the Bucks have like the tools to kind of like match up with them well. But I think I'm gonna say Brooklyn, man, because Kevin Durant, a healthy Kevin Durant, and a locked in Kyrie Irving is, still a lethal combination to like deal with, because I was talking to somebody earlier at work, and it's kind of like the Warriors all over again sometimes with KD, Steph, Clay. But instead of like, ball moving and knocking down threes, you got, when healthy, three guys that can get buckets from anywhere on the floor. And they don't even have to have you like set up an offense. They just need the space and opportunity and take turns. And it's kind of hard to guard that because all of them can shoot, all of them can break you down off the dribble. They can get to the rim, they can finish. That offensive firepower is so hard to stop, man. So it's gonna be interesting. Definitely, if Harden is like really like healthy and good to go, but I definitely think it's gonna be a tough series. I don't think it's gonna be an easy out for him.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Um, yeah, I have to agree with you. I think the Bucks are not going to. It's tough. It's tough to match that offensive firepower, especially you still have KD. The Nets are going to be a threat no matter what. And again, the others, if they're still knocking down shots like that, it's going to be tough.
Right.
So also Brooklyn does have the advantage too, his home court advantage. So
yeah. Steve Nash, man, he's done a pretty good job. I know people like give him flack sometimes. He just adopted a good situation, which he got, obviously a great situation to be in as a first year head coach. But I think you got to give him some credit. That managing personalities is just as important as managing the talent and developing a system for everybody to work in. And also, like you said, got to give a shout out to all the like role players that stepped up. Bruce Brown, like I joke with him. I joke with my little brother about him a lot because he's like kind of hard to play with on 2K. But he was big time. Like he played solid defense and was finishing inside. Obviously, Joe Harris was doing what he does, shooting the three ball. Landry Shamet, Nick Claxton, those guys came in, gave good energy, good defense. So
crazy.
And I mean, another thing that's crazy to me, they aren't even playing like DeAndre Jordan. And to me, he's a big time like center still in this league. I think he can still make a decent impact on the game, but he's not even like playing. So, and not Brooklyn, but Milwaukee has size, and I feel like he'll probably like get some playing time. But it's good to see like how they kind of like were able to manage and step up without him.
Sure. Yeah, man. We'll see. We'll definitely see.
Sure.
I would say this though. In the East, I will say this. I say Milwaukee does have the defenders. I think they have the best, almost the best defenders. Because between them and Philly, they probably have the best defenders to potentially stop. It's gonna be hard to stop. I'm not gonna say stop. Maybe potentially slow down the
Right.
big three. You got PJ Tucker. You got Drew. You got Drew. Giannis.
Brook Lopez.
They can hold down. You got Brook Lopez. So we'll see. Maybe they can adjust defensively, but we'll see. But they're just knocking down shots. Just nothing.
Yeah. If there's anybody in the East that can beat them that's left, I'd definitely say Milwaukee has like the best chance to like you said, slow them down and sneak a couple wins in and, could maybe give them that knockout blow to get to the next round. But we'll have to see, man. Obviously, they have a good defensive team, but I don't know if they can keep up that offense. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, it's tough. There's also, I'm just sticking with the East right now. Of course, in the West, the Jazz, amazing defensively. But I'm just trying to stick to the East right now, who can potentially slow them down. So, yeah, we'll see. So we both think the Nets will win the series. Do you want to try the games, or you just want to stick to just the? Do you want to try saying how many games, or
do you for the Nets and the Bucks? Man, I feel like that'll be a 7 game. I think they'll go to distance, man. I don't think I don't think they're gonna go in less than 6, man. Like I think it's going 7.
Let's see. That's it'll be great if the series goes that far.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be a good one, man, for sure. I think it's gonna be good.
I guess I'm gonna try to avoid recency bias and say they'll just because that was bad. They do adjust. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. At first I was gonna say 5, but I'll say 6 now. I'll say 6. They could probably get 2. Over to get 2 at home.
Why'd you have 5, man?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Right now, all right. So I'll be honest with you. Right now, as of right now, they're playing.
Yeah.
Guess what the score is right now? It's halftime.
What is it?
It's 41-65.
Brooklyn's up?
Yes.
Ooh.
So again, this is gonna by the time this comes out, there'll probably be more games played, but
yeah.
I'm gonna stick with 6 because hopefully they can get 2 at home.
Okay. That's fair.
Hopefully they get 2 at home.
I think at least 6. I'm gonna give them credit. Yeah, at least 6.
I'm gonna give them 6. So we'll see how that prediction turns out next time we get. All right. But yeah, I respect Milwaukee though. It's just tough.
Right.
It's tough.
That's the 3-headed monster. If James Harden, like if he comes back.
But they're playing without James Harden right now. They're getting blown out like this. I don't.
Man,
there's plenty of time left. They could come back and win the game, for all I know. But it's tough. But the game 1, they had a perfect opportunity to get that game too, without James Harden.
Yeah.
So I was like, they could potentially stole game 1, but they didn't.
Man, they might have taken the foot off the gas, saying like, "Oh, James Harden's not playing. Oh, we can kind of cruise. We can kind of get them later on." But like, you got to turn that same energy on, man. Keep that same energy. Go for the neck from the start. That may be what's happening, but we'll see. I don't count anybody out. Like Portland and Denver. Portland was down 30. They were down 30, and then they came back in like a quarter, basically. They went on that huge run and, stretched the game out to double overtime. They lost, but that's the playoffs, man. You can't count any team out. I wouldn't count anybody out unless you're down like 40 at this rate. The way I'm seeing it, like, it's crazy, bro.
Listen, especially as the games change, they somebody could probably come back to from that. I don't know. It'll be
24. When you think about it, like now, like back in the day, like probably like 5+ years ago, you have about 24. The game is pretty much like you're in cruise control. You kind of like got it. But now you take your foot off the gas. These teams are like going to run, and they, everybody's is shooting the 3-ball pretty well. So you can easily get back in the game pretty quickly.
All right. Yeah. We both know basketball is just basically a game of runs, So just
momentum. That's
it. And right now, Nets have all the momentum right now. Right now, as of this moment. So we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
See. Hopefully they Yeah, we'll see. We give them 6. We both give them 6. We both give them 6 games.
I think that's a safe bet.
it's safe. Hopefully, we'll see. By the next time by the next time we'll see. All right, stick to the East. The other game that happened was Philly and Atlanta. Atlanta won game 1, and they're currently leading the series. The Philly, they did have Joel Embiid. He did play. Some people were worried about his injury that he wouldn't play, but he did end up playing. So with Joel Embiid on the floor, the Hawks still pulled out the win. So
that was impressive.
Think about that series. Yeah, it was impressive.
That was impressive, and I didn't expect that at all. Once again, my bad to Atlanta. I didn't expect them to like come out and do that, bro. Like Trae Young and John Collins, man, they just they are elevating before our eyes. Philly obviously was not sure about the status of Joel Embiid, but he came out, he dropped 39. I want to say 39 I'm pretty sure a lot of rebounds. If I can't remember the exact number, but he looked good. But Trae Young, just Nate McMillan is doing a good job of like having these young guys play in control. And I think another part of it is Lou Will. Those, they got like good vets on the bench right now too, with him, Gallinari and Bogdanovich. He's a threat from the three, man. So shout out to Atlanta.
Definitely. Yeah. Joel, he had 39, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists, 3 blocks. So he played exceptionally
Oops.
well. He was he was still very efficient too. It's not like he, just Joel Embiid was on. He was on. Seth Curry too, man. Shout out to Seth Curry.
Oh yeah, he's been playing big time too.
Yeah, he had 21. So
Hmm.
it's tough. It's to have that production and still lose
Yeah,
at home.
definitely, man.
It's
Yeah.
that's tough. They did make some adjustments towards the end. They end up putting Ben um on Trey. So we'll see. That's tough. Remember I said Trey Young. He's coming almost like James Harden drawing these fouls almost, man. Like he can draw the
He's
fouls.
definitely using the new referee foul call system to his advantage. Like I can't, you can't really like you can't doubt the greatness in it, even though it's like
No, I'm not hating. It's part of the game. So you
it's,
just
yeah, he's like mastered that. It's part of this modern game, and it's kind of like weird to see like certain plays or fouls to me. And I'm like, me and you, we used to play pickup and we didn't call foul. Like, you can hit way up here and judo chop basically. But these days,
right,
just kind of manipulate it,
man.
I think he like gets his arms are like underneath the other guys. He, goes to his shot and easily gets the call. So, I mean, it's a smart thing. Like, I don't knock it at all. It's utilizing the game. So,
Yeah, people used to complain about James when he really,
James
well,
Harden, yeah, he started.
that's part of the game though.
Yeah.
It's like stop him from doing it. You really can't. So
Yeah.
you stop it until
Trey is
defenses
going to be,
adjust.
yeah.
Can you keep fouling? What you about to
Yeah.
say about Trey?
Trey's going to be, he's going to be a good, I think he's going to be staple in the league. I don't know where his place is like way down the line, but he's going to be one of those stars in the future that, are talked about with the likeness of Steph Curry. I don't think he is there yet, but he has that confidence about him, and that's like very important. Like having the mentality of the things of the game are important, because even if he's not like shooting the ball particularly well, he still has that like mentality, like I'm gonna go out here and impact this game. I'm gonna get to the line, or I'm gonna make a play for my guys, because he's also pretty good in the pick and roll. Uh,
Yeah.
they killed it with that too. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some great players on the Hawks. So it was well. All right. With that being said, who you think wins the series?
even though Atlanta won, I gotta count them out again. I'm going Philly. I think Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are gonna respond pretty well. Tobias Harris also has been pretty good this year. Like he's been like really clutch for them down the line. So I think that they're gonna step up their game and they're gonna like take over the series eventually.
Yeah, that's with that. I'm Oh, all right. That's good.
Oh,
That's a good one. I'm probably gonna roll with.
going bold and spicy, huh?
Yeah, man. I know Philly is favorite, but the fact that they got game one, Atlanta now holds home court advantage. So I'm a probably roll with Atlanta. It's tough. I know I know that's different. I know a lot of people are not gonna pick Atlanta, but I'm gonna pick Atlanta. I'm just going with Atlanta, man.
Okay.
Because again, Trey Young, he's really bossing. Not just Trey Young, you got John Collins again, DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a
good.
great,
He's
he's
very
great,
good.
good player, good player, um, really good player. They have some depth on the
Yeah.
house, and again, Philly has depth too. But um, game one spoke a lot, and again, momentum swings. It could change, So,
Yeah.
but we'll see. And Joel Embiid, he's still, that guy. This will be definitely he can really stop Joel.
Definitely.
But But yeah, I'm gonna just roll. I'm just roll with Atlanta, man. I'm just roll with them. I guess
Okay.
basically because I could probably make a better argument for why Philly will win the series. I'm just rolling with Atlanta. Um,
Okay.
I'm just rolling with them. I can't really give you too many sound arguments on why, because
No, no.
but yeah, I'm just rolling with them. That's what I think. They have the shooting.
Mm.
I think their shooting is a little bit better than Philly, a little bit, and
I can
so
agree with that.
a little bit better than Philly.
Yeah.
And then if they can shoot, John Collins catching lobs,
I
no,
like John Collins, man.
yeah,
I
Clint
like him a lot.
Capella keep doing his thing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna roll with the Hawks. It's gonna be surprising if they get there, but I'm gonna roll with them.
Yeah. We'll see, man. I don't mind that. I
No,
mean, they knocked New York
yeah,
out 4-1. I
yeah,
thought that was going to be a competitive, more competitive series than it was. So,
right. I will say this though: if Atlanta does win, I'm gonna give them definitely 7 games.
yeah.
It'll have to be a 7 game series. I think it'll be hard to predict Atlanta winning like sooner. At least 7. I don't see Philly going out without 7 games.
Nah, it's
I
about to be
don't
a,
see. So I know
gonna
you're
be a
Philly.
battle.
So do you think Philly will win in 7 games, or you gonna go like what 6?
Mm.
Because they can probably still have one from Atlanta too. So
Mm.
and this too again, Ben Simmons. I don't know if you saw round one with the Wizards and the Sixers. Wizards and the Sixers.
Uh, I
They
didn't catch
did.
a lot of their games, but I caught like bits and pieces. Think I caught like
The other thing here, Ben Simmons, is he's I'm stick with facts. He's not the best free throw shooter.
no.
He's not the best perimeter shooter. He's not really. He's great at so many other things. He's a great playmaker.
Yeah.
Get inside and finish.
Yeah.
But the fact that the Wizards did a hacker Ben, hacker
Oh
Simmons,
man,
they did that strategy and
they
it
did.
worked. They got them. It got the Wizards back in the game
He was
in
like
round
4
one.
of 12 from the free throw line or something like that.
You
You didn't make
that's
it
the
for him, man.
that's my thing too. If and Ben has to be on the floor because he has so many pluses, his defense and his playmaking. But it's tough to be a playmaker. You have the ball in your hands and you can get fouled and go to the free throw line and potentially miss some free points. And
I
I
was so
think that's
like,
going to be tough to
yeah,
overcome. So I I got more confidence in Atlanta just thinking about that. Again, Ben is a great player. I think he's a good player. Um he's really good. But until that's until that's improved, I'm definitely that helps me. That gives me more confidence in Atlanta because they can knock down free throws. Especially that like it's different because the ball handler he has the ball in his hand. You can foul him
yeah,
right there. And
yeah, for sure.
it's tough.
I do remember watching that game that Washington won, and that's the game I remember. Like they were hacking Ben, and he was if he would have hit like maybe half of his free throws, they probably would have won the game. Like fundamental stuff like that, working on your game, working on free throws.
Let
He
me
doesn't
let me
like.
yeah, let me say this too, real
Hmm?
quick. It's not just the free throw shooting; it's also the lack of perimeter shooting. Because for example, Luka Doncic, he's not the best free throw shooter either,
Right.
but he's knocking down these threes and these perimeter shots.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of balances it out. But with Ben,
Can't hit either one.
that's different. That's why that's a little bit different to me because there are players that can't really. There are a lot of players that don't shoot well from free throw line.
That was LeBron a couple years ago.
LeBron too.
Still,
So
I
yeah.
guess.
So I don't want to just harp on Ben just for that. I'm not saying that he can be he's clearly a basketball player for a reason.
Ben Simmons he's a great player, bro.
Like, I want people to understand. Like I'm not trying to bash Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't want. He's a really, really good player.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Have him on my team any day.
Yeah,
I'll take him on my team.
It's just OKC.
We got Shea. I don't know, but he could probably fill the role of being like maybe a point forward, maybe. I'll take him.
That'll be interesting. Man.
Just make sure give him plenty of shooters. You gotta build a proper team around Ben Simmons. But
for sure.
But yeah, Doc is really defending him well, he's a good player for a reason. I'm not saying you don't sit Ben. I'm just saying that has to be Doc has to make adjustments somewhere. Maybe have another playmaker in while Ben is in the game. Something. You just can't allow that strategy to happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but
he's got
no hate on Ben Simmons. I'll say that again. No hate on Ben Simmons. Yeah. I respect Ben Simmons. LSU, awesome. So I respect Ben Simmons.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Australia.
Australia too.
Yeah.
He was on the cover of 2K in Australia. So
nice.
He was. So all right. Any thoughts on the East? So I'm going with the Hawks. So you're going with Philly. We're both going with the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
The Nets book series. I said I ended up with Nets in 6. You both did that. I think we both believe that the series between the Hawks and the Sixers is going 7 games, right? Or 6.
I want to go.
Where you going?
If Joel Embiid plays that way, and everybody is, I mean, even with Ben's like less than stellar shooting, I think they can like take the momentum if they like get locked in defensively and like really like shut them down, honestly, because Joel had 3 blocks last night.
Yep.
Ben is obviously a great perimeter defender, and I think like they'll make the adjustments on Trae Young, make it hard for John Collins inside. I'm gonna say 5. I'm gonna say that Philly takes the momentum and knows the work.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right. We'll see. All right, you got them in 5. I got them in 7. All right, we'll see. We see how it goes by next time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Let's talk about the West real quick.
Okay.
So these are the matchups in the West. So we got the Jazz and the Clippers, and we also have the Nuggets and the Suns. All right, so the Jazz play on their home court. They're the first seed. Phoenix has home court against Denver. So, what are your thoughts? Let's do. I can go out of one of these because these are both going to be pretty good series in my opinion. But let's start with the Nuggets and the Suns first, though.
Okay.
Nuggets and Suns. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
Man, Jokic is gonna be a beast, man. Jokic, Michael Porter Jr. is looking good. Aaron Gordon has been a great fit for them. Even Austin Rivers, man, he's been stepping up a lot. So off the rip, man, it's gonna be a very tough, intense series. I think Jokic is probably gonna average almost a triple-double, if not. But I think that the Suns, I want to root for the Suns, man, but it's like, dang, Jokic and them, it's kind of tough. I think if Aiden stays healthy, CP3 is fairly healthy, Devin Booker, I believe, is going to show up and give us probably some 40 pieces. Jay Crowder's going to contribute. I think they have, and another guy for the Suns is like really been like shocking me is Cameron Payne, man. Cameron Payne's been coming in, giving you like 15 a game off the bench, and he's like, he was going against LeBron, just like, man, whatever, man. I'm scoring on you, bro. Like he had the ultimate confidence, and he was getting buckets. So I think stuff like that matters. Where like when you are a role player, and I guess like Cam probably is taking it. He's had a little journey the past couple of years, so he didn't got to the Suns, and he's like contributing big time, man. So I think that that type of energy for those players is going to be big, and I think that that'll help them. Like I don't think Phoenix's bench is worse than Denver's bench. So man, it's kind of hard to call, but a healthy, fairly healthy CP3 and DeAndre Ayton, and I'm like I said, I'm counting the book in for like 40, a couple games. I'm gonna go Phoenix, man. I think they got it. It's kind of tough, but I think they'll pull it out.
Ooh, okay, you're going Phoenix. All right.
It's hard, man.
I say this though.
Okay.
No Nuggets. If Jamal Murray was here, I believe this will be man. But he's out for the season, so I'm not going to harp on that. But Will Barton, he could potentially come back for this series. He had a hamstring issue. He could potentially come back. I believe there's discussion about him maybe potentially playing. I know not right now, not in the immediate future, but never know if the series drags out. Never know. He could potentially come back. That's one thing. Two, I gotta shout out James Jones, bro. He put this Suns team together. Like he got all the right role players.
Definitely.
So it's looking really good.
Shout out to Coach Monty Williams, man.
Monty Williams.
Yeah. Shoot.
But have you see you rolling with the Suns? But have you seen?
It's tough.
I know. Have you seen Joker though?
Yes. He's a monster, man. Like that dude can take over the game whenever. Like
I can't. I'm gonna roll with the Nuggets, man. I know you're going with the Suns. So I gotta roll with the Nuggets, man.
Okay.
Michael Porter. They technically got a steal of the pick. He was projected to go like top 3 in draft before the back injury.
Mm-hmm.
But he's playing phenomenal right now. Just man, the Nuggets. I just it's good. This is gonna be a good series. This is gonna be a good series. The Nuggets are really good.
Yeah.
Without Jamal Murray.
Yeah, man.
I'll definitely have more confidence if Jamal Murray was playing. There's potential Will Barton could, and he's a bucket getter. He's a great role player as well. The Nuggets have shooting. Michael Malone. He's got them playing some good defense. They're not terrible on defense. Dude, I'll say this. Who's gonna stop Joker, man? Who can stop? You saw Nurkic in the last series. And then in this counter. And the Suns don't have as much size.
They don't.
So
only Aiden. To me,
you only got Aiden.
Starter wise.
You really only got him. Who do they have anyone else height wise?
They can throw Kaminsky in there. I don't know. That's the thing though.
I don't know.
The thing is with Jokic, man, he's a 7-footer. He's pretty broad. He's a big dude, but he can move. Like he doesn't move fast, but he can move, and it's weird. Like he's handling the ball. He can play on the perimeter. He can shoot. He can post. He can pass. It's just kind of hard to really predict him, and I feel like Aiden, Kaminsky, what's the other big guy for Phoenix? I can't think of his name right now, but they don't have those are they're like big guys. They don't have a lot of size to like throw at them. They don't have just bodies to throw at them. But also those dudes aren't like really perimeter defensive players. You know what I mean? Like DeAndre Ayton doesn't have like that type of lateral quickness, and not only is Jokic is not like super fast, obviously, but he's like deceptive and he's like smart. And I feel like that craftiness that he has is kind of like hard to defend. So that matchup is going to be very tough for Phoenix, like figuring him out.
That's key. That's gonna be a key thing to watch. Aiden versus Jokic.
Yeah.
That's gonna be really key to watch. And I don't know why I forgot about this player, but he's also been key. Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon, man,
So
yeah.
that's why I'm gonna roll with the Nuggets, man.
Okay.
I don't see them really stopping Jokic, although DeAndre Ayton is a great defender.
Yeah.
He's been doing great in these playoffs. Before AD got injured, he was going at AD.
Yeah.
So
DeAndre Ayton, I believe, will be a star in the league too. I just think that, like you said, with Denver, Aaron Gordon was a huge trade for them. Like he fit right into their system. Like he obviously he can score, but he's not like a guy that's going to give you 20 a game or like not even like 18 a game. But he's like 14, 15 and like 7 to 10 boards a game are huge for them. And he can like, he fits right into the offense because he can make plays too. He's wide, he's athletic. He can get to the rim. He can he can make it hard for defenses to kind of stop their team offense. So yeah. I can't be mad at that. I like the Nuggets' chances of winning that series. I just want to see CP3 and Book win it, man. So that's why I'm rolling with him. But
I got you. Yeah, Aaron Gordon too. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember or not. Jeremy Grant. He played a big role for the Nuggets last year. And Aaron Gordon, he's kind of replacing that role that Jeremy Grant had almost. But
definitely,
me, I believe Aaron Gordon is a better player than Jeremy Grant right now.
Yeah.
To me, although Jeremy Grant, he's really improved. He did really good on the Pistons.
Yeah, I thought he looked like he was gonna be like he had a nice leap in the early season, but I don't know what happened to him. I thought he was gonna get like a 20-point per game. I was thinking he would be like maybe a candidate for most improved, but he kind of fell off at the later half.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Aaron Gordon, he's
a nice glue guy. You know what I mean?
He is. That combined with the growth of Michael Porter Jr., Jokic is doing Jokic things, man. So I'm going with the Nuggets, man. Okay. As far as number of games,
I'm not mad at that.
This is gonna be a tough series, man. This is like one of the more exciting series too.
Yeah.
So man. I gotta. Oof. This can easily go 7.
Yeah.
It can easily go 7. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna go Nuggets and like. All right, I can see you going for 7 games, but I'm gonna go Nuggets in 6 though. I can see you going to 7 games though. I wouldn't be surprised if it does, but I can see Nuggets in 6. But I will say this though, if it does go 7 games, and CP3 is still healthy, that's another factor. Hopefully CP3 stays healthy through all of this. If CP3 is not as healthy, I think Nuggets are the shoe-in. If not, I can see CP3 really helping the Suns get a game 7. So if it goes 7 games, I'll go with the Suns. But overall, I'm going with the Nuggets in 6. But I wouldn't be surprised if Nuggets lose in 7 because CP3, his leadership, his experience, he can get you a game. He can get you 1 game for game 7.
Yeah.
Despite no matter how Joker goes off. So
yeah. CP3. I'm definitely gonna go 7, man. I don't see it going any other way. Even I think they can last, even if CP3 doesn't have the greatest health. I think it goes to 7 still.
Okay. All right. The CP3 can have impact even if he's not 100% healthy. We saw in the Lakers series, he wasn't 100% healthy there. Yeah,
Yep.
but his IQ it's just
Or
so
general, man.
it's so valuable. As long as he's on the floor, he's he adds so much value to the teams that he's on.
Yep.
But I'm going with I'm gonna stick with the Nuggets in 6. But I would not be surprised if the Suns win in 7 though. I don't want to be surprised because they're that great. But we both agree it's gonna be a tough series. It's gonna be really
Definitely.
exciting. It's gonna be tough. Again, I'm running with Nuggets in 6. Zay, you run with uh, the Suns in 7. All right, we're gonna remember these, man. See what happens with this. All right. So like final series for the second round, we got the Jazz and the Clippers. All right. The
Mm-hmm.
Jazz have home court advantage. Of course, they were number 1 seed. Clippers just got out of a tough 7-game series against the Mavericks. All right, what are your thoughts on this series between the Jazz and the Clippers?
I think it all comes down to if Paul George and the supporting cast of the Clippers are consistent and really show up. Because I think Kawhi has kind of shown us that he's gonna, like, when it comes down to it, when his team needs it, he's gonna be there to give you pretty much what you need. I'm kind of like surprised. His defense has not been like as impactful to me, but he's like had good stops and moments that he needed them. And obviously he's like turned it up 100 times more on offense, like just doing whatever he wants, really. But I think the determining factor for the Clippers is, you know, I hate that people did that to him last year, but they called him Pandemic P. If Paul George isn't 100%, if he's not healthy or just having like some struggles, it's kind of gonna be hard to negate Donovan Mitchell, Michael Conley, and Bogdanovich. That Jazz team, man, and then you got Jordan Clarkson off the bench, 6 man of the year. Shout out to him. Um, they're gonna be hard to like stop, like keep up with if you don't play good defense. Um, I like the Jazz's chances, man. I honestly do, but I'm not gonna count Kawhi and the Clippers out, especially if those, like I said, those guys like come in and step up like big time, or like they're just like consistent. The Clippers, that's another one, man. That's another 7 for me. That's a tough one.
All right. Yeah, you focus more on the Clippers. I'm gonna focus a little bit more on the Jazz real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. All your thoughts about the Clippers? I think Ty Lue, he shows. I'm gonna say one note on the Clippers real quick. Ty Lue and his adjustments during that Mavericks series was very noticeable.
Yeah,
So clearly, Ty Lue, awesome coach, great coach,
for sure.
and he showed it in this series. So again, so I'm gonna go focus on Jazz real quick. Jazz, they got so many great defenders, so much shooting, man. They're the literal definition of a 3-and-D team. They're like, man, and Donovan Mitchell.
They get good shots, man. Like
They,
Donovan
they,
Mitchell, and then
yeah,
they kind of are like what the Spurs were for like a long time to be like offensively. They kind of have that same like patience. They move the ball, they move that ball, and they get like fairly great shots a lot of the time.
they do. Great shot selection, man. But you have a guy in Donovan Mitchell, he can go get you one. A lot
He
of people
can
are
just
saying
go
he's
get
Dwayne
buckets.
Wade 2.0. What are your thoughts about that? But you being a D Wade fan that you are.
Shout out to D Wade, the owner. Well,
He
partial.
is a part owner. That's right.
Shout out
So
to
it's,
Black ownership. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Jazz. But I definitely see the comparisons, D Wade, Donovan Mitchell, and I think like D Wade being out there in Utah. I'm pretty sure you saw the clip of like D Wade being on the sideline and Donovan being able to go over and ask your owner about the game, and it being Dwayne Wade is a big thing. So Donovan, to me, he has a lot of that similarity. Like obviously, athletic wise, he's super fast. He can handle the ball. But the difference is like early on, like D Wade kind of developed his jump shot later on in his career, but Donovan can shoot it, and he's like he looks confident shooting it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah. And
yeah,
the other thing too, he was just come back from injury against some Grizzlies series,
Mhm.
um, and that series allowed him to adjust to the playoff intensity, um, and just going back to playing. Getting in that basketball
yep,
shape. So he had enough games on his belt to do that. Um, I guess I'll be a little bit worried about fatigue a little bit because those games against the Grizzlies were largely, they got massive leads against the Grizzlies. They didn't really have to worry about too much. They could they could manage Donovan Mitchell's time. You know, I will worry about this though. If the series or game stretch out, is he really still in good enough basketball shape to let fatigue not be a factor? Because again, he is returning, and that
mm,
series against the Grizzlies was pretty short. It was a gentleman's sweep,
yep,
and they had some good time off. So I would say that about the Jazz.
mhm,
That's one worry that I would have if I'm a Jazz fan. I would worry a little bit about that. And
yep,
but again, the defense is phenomenal. Mike Conley, hopefully he stays healthy as well. So
definitely.
that those are my main two concerns about.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
definitely. I agree with that. Donovan Mitchell, yeah, like you said, he was obviously coming back from injury, and the Memphis series, it was interesting, but we kind of knew that the Jazz, obviously, they were the number one seed in the West. Like they were super good, and they played great defense. But that team kind of, I mean, that series kind of allowed Donovan to like you said, get back in the groove of playing and kind of like find his conditioning and find his rhythm. But now you're playing against the Clippers, and you're playing against two-way, pretty good two-way players. They haven't played the best defense against Luke and them, but they still are gonna be a lot tougher to like score on. Like Kawhi, I'm pretty sure they're gonna like have some matchups where Kawhi is guarding Donovan. PG is probably gonna come at him. Also, they're gonna like be on Conley. They're gonna use that like length and that strength to body him up a little bit and play good defense on him. So it's not gonna be easy buckets. Like it's easy to score, but I think that the Jazz being like the solid team all around team that they are gonna make that adjustment and be able to, make some create offense that is like just not Donovan going off one-on-ones or pick and rolls and getting to the rim or shooting the jump shot. I think they're gonna like be able to like get other guys involved. And then, like I said, Jordan Clarkson, man, he comes in,
yeah,
he's gonna give you anywhere from 13 to, if it's a crazy night, he'll give you 40 off the bench. So
definitely. Yeah, he was man. Yeah, I almost forgot about Jordan Clarkson. That's so true. They have so many weapons on the Jazz. I would say this too. The Clippers went against a lot. They went against zone a lot. The Mavs decided to use zone a lot in their defense, and that opened up a lot of threes for the Clippers. They just had to knock them down, and they did.
yeah,
Because no, early in the series they weren't making anything. It was tough for them to make shots, and the Mavs implemented that defense. But I would say this though, the Jazz, they can defend you on ball. They don't have to use zone.
yeah,
So they're not gonna get as many open looks to me as it saw against the Mavericks. Because the Mavericks were literally their zone that left an open shooter. And the Clippers used pick and roll to get the corner open. That's how Morris Senior got so many open looks from the three in that
yeah.
corner. You remember that in that
Mm-hmm.
on that run they had. So he was knocking them down. So I would say this: if the yeah, you're right. The Clippers are consistent enough in their shooting, they can definitely win the series because you have two superstars in Kawhi and PG. Um, while the Jazz, um, they have this defensive player of the year in Rudy Gobert, They have a rising superstar in Donovan Mitchell, and they have some great role players who are 3-and-D guys.
Royce O'Neal,
So
man.
stuff, and you have another great coach. I think he's a great coach. I think Quinn Snyder is a really
Right.
good coach.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really tough series, man. It's going to be tough. And again, I know I said earlier about the fatigue factor. That's potential.
Yeah.
You know, that's potentially Donovan Mitchell's still a good player. He can potentially overcome that too.
For sure.
It might not even be a factor. I don't know. I'm just trying to think
Yeah.
of some things that could be, Rudy Gobert. He's a great. And this other thing too, the Mavericks didn't really have that. Rudy Gobert is a better rim protector than any player the Mavericks had too. Yeah. So that's gonna be another factor. This is gonna be a great series.
Yeah.
We
didn't even touch on the Stifle Tower, man. Rudy Gobert. Yeah. He, man, I mean, I used to like I guess I used to like kind of laugh at him because I don't know if you remember, like a couple of seasons ago, he was complaining about not getting touches on offense.
I do remember that, yeah.
But the thing was, he didn't really have a back to the basket game, like just be calling for the ball like that. He can't really, he's not a jump shooter. So I'm like,
not that we know of, no.
Right. I hadn't seen him like shoot it that well or like shoot it that often.
Right.
I mean, maybe he does. He just is, not shooting. But I think he kind of like understood his role. Like, I'm a defensive stopper. But also, like, I've seen him, like, he's improved offensively. Like, he can, like, get a couple possessions and, like, he can, put his back to the basket, score a little bit. But he's a big time, like, defensive player. He may not be able to, like, get you on the perimeter, but you go inside. It's very, very tough to score on that dude inside. Even if he doesn't block the shot, he's so long and a great defensive. He has great defensive awareness in the paint that he's all over it. So I think he's going to be a big piece for them. As long if LA is trying to get to the paint, it's going to be hard to score on Gobert. So
yeah, it's going to be tough.
Definitely deserves the defensive player of the year in my opinion too.
Yeah, he's a candidate every year.
For sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we talked pretty good about both teams.
Yep.
So all right, so let's get into it. Who do you think is going to win the series, man? Who you got?
Man, this is tough because I can't doubt the greatness of Kawhi Leonard. But I have to see. I respect Paul George. I think he's a superstar when he's right, he's healthy. But sometimes that in the past couple of years, I've seen like some streaks, man. Yeah, everybody goes through it. And if he just happens to have a bad streak, man, it's kind of tough for them to take that series over Utah. But even like, I think it's going to be a really competitive series. I think it's going to be good. So let me just get to the point. I'm going to say Utah, and I'm going to say Utah in 7. I don't see it going, as long as everybody's healthy and, playing well, I think that's a 7-game series.
I agree with you, man. I'm going with Utah. And same thing for me.
What's up, everyone? We just want to say thank you for listening to the podcast and that this episode is sponsored by Straight Stoner, also known as the brand SS96. Shop today for t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more. For listening today, you receive not 10, not 15, not 20, but 30% off. Yes, that's right, 30% off. Just use the code Swish Masters today. Visit ss96.net and use the promo code Swish Masters for your Stoner merch. 30% off today. Support black businesses, and thank you for listening to the podcast. Stay tuned for the next part of this episode. So man, I guess that brings us to a close. I guess any ending last thoughts for you, my guy?
Yeah, man. First of all, this is a, I think this is going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going thanks again for like having me as your co-host, man. This is awesome. Swish Masters podcast. Thanks to all you all that are listening in. We hope this has been a fun experience for you all, as it's been for me. And I'm sure you was for both of us. I'm sure we can say that. Um, so yeah, I I'm just grateful for this opportunity, grateful to discuss basketball, all things basketball, the culture around it. So yeah, that's what I got. What about you, man?
Yeah, man, I'm definitely grateful to have this opportunity to get to talk about the game that I love to watch it, play it, be around it. And I appreciate you, man, for reaching out, being my co-host, um, being my brother. So,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and thank
man.
you to everyone who's tuning in and who eventually will tune in. We appreciate y'all. Gonna keep it going, gonna grow, and gonna have some good content for y'all. So stay tuned. We appreciate you.
Yep, this is just the beginning. So yeah, hopefully welcome more into the Swish Masters, family, So yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
well,
it's cool.
we'll definitely be out here. I'll have everything on my social media. Follow me there. Follow the YouTube Swish Masters. You'll be able to find us on more places soon. So we appreciate you guys, and till next time, be easy, keep hooping.
Yep, yep. That's